So on the first hole, they're 30 yards up there. He tees off. Second hole's a par 3, and the back tee is 5 yards behind the next tee. The third hole's another short par 4. So
hello
kind of
and welcome. My name is John, and we have the second round of the tournament just about to kick off. Let's get down there on the tee.
I noticed they're about 5 yards in front of the tee again. And I look over, and Phil just smiles at me with that shit-eating grin he's got. And I'm like, you bastard. He called the pro shop and had the guys go out and move every tee 5 yards in front of the tips. And so BZ had to play from there.
So we
nice
played
swing.
from 77.50, basically.
And, we played for an amount that I wasn't comfortable for, but luckily BZ's like, at the start of the day, said, I got you. So I'm not quite sure what we lost. I know it was quite large, but Phil got the best of us.
So we have about 165 yards to go still.
Some extra money.
He was so proud of himself, though.
The fact that the money means 0.0 to him. The fact that he got a one-up on you and said, hey, calls the shop and has the course rigged to his favor going in. Next time he offers you a game, and it's like, hey, it's me and him versus y'all two, be like, nah, flip it. I'll be with him. Because he's already done something to skew the
I don't think we've ever been on the same team. It's just too much fun trash-talking each other.
Oh, no, you don't have to be on the same team, but whoever he wants as his partner, be like, nah, I'll take him. Because he's done something to tilt the scales.
Like, first off, you're taking Ben Crane. I'm the third best golfer in this group right now.
We got enough time. You got another.
Looks like you're going to hit some sand here.
I remember from you was the Q School. The final hole, the 108, how many holes are there?
Yeah, 108 Q School. This is
108. Tell that story real quick.
Yeah, this is when you could still get on tour through Q School.
Right. Top 25, got your tour card at this point.
I go final round of Q School. I'm a couple inside the number in like 18th, 17th place. It was actually a little windy that day, and so the scores weren't crazy. And I remember I wasn't going to look at any
final
boards.
round,
final round. I didn't want to know where I stood, anything like this. I'm 2 under par through 17. I remember walking up 16, and I kind of looked over at Randy Smith, who was my coach at the time, and he kind of gave me a thumbs up, like, you're in good spot.
Decent shot there, considering
par 17, go to 18.
Where you're hitting from.
Been driving it all day, great all day. I'd missed a fairway. 18 we finished on the Nick tournament. It's got water all down the right, but there's room out there. It's not like
you got room left.
And I probably should have asked
the state of California. There's some trouble, but you could hit it all the way into like the 10th fairway.
Yeah, I probably. Well, no, you can't. There's houses over there,
but you can hit it way over there, dude.
But I probably should have asked and figured out exactly how I stood. So I pull out driver. And I hit it was basically a shank.
It was the worst drive I've ever seen you hit in the history of me knowing you.
I mean, it almost went right of the water. And we're walking off the tee, and I'm just like, oh, boy. And so I look at my caddy.
There's a nice putt for you.
Situation. He's like, you got to make bogey to get your card. And I'm like, good God.
Should have told me that before I just shipped the driver.
Starting things off at even par.
But meanwhile,
and you are even
for the
tournament.
Drop it, I think 260.
All right.
So
let's let her rip.
Because it's all water all the way up to the green. So I actually hit a really good 5-wood back into the wind over just short left of the green, which was pretty ballsy now that I look back at it. And I know I got to make bogey. I hit a decent pitch to probably like 8 feet and lip it out. And I think the world is absolutely over. Like, I'm just trying to hold it together, get to scoring, and be done. And I'm in the scoring, and I'm just losing my shit. Like, I can't even sign my scorecard. Just made double on the last. I have to go back to the Corn Ferry Tour. And I believe it was Montana.
Nice.
Was in the scoring trailer. He's like, hey, you're fine. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm fine? They just told me how to make bogey. He's like, no, you're T27, but 2 guys ahead of you already have their card, and they're just trying to improve their status, so they don't count. So you finished T25.
And nobody behind you could potentially pass
I mean, it was like, I couldn't believe it.
I was watching that on TV, and I was like, I saw you hitting the water. I was like, are you joking me? I was like, oh, my God. And then the double happened, and I was literally like, oh, my God. He just made double. Yeah. A bogey would have got it done. Because I was thinking the same thing. I didn't know 2 guys had, already locked up their card or whatever. And then it kept posting. I remember I texted you, like, right after. I was like, congrats, dude. I was like, I didn't want to call or anything because I knew it was probably super emotional. But you had to, like, lose it in the tent.
I mean, it's just I was balling.
Of course.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean,
People cry Q School all the time.
It was the worst. And I'll never forget, it was Roberto Castro, Mark Anderson who saved me.
Those are the 2 guys that...
Yeah. And I'm actually playing golf with Roberto Castro tomorrow, so...
A little bottle of wine maybe for the kid.
I'll take care of his green fee tomorrow.
That's nice. That's plenty.
But I remember the double also gave John Huh and Nathan Green their tour card. And John Huh went on to win that year and make $3 million.
He won, what, Mayakoba that year?
Yeah. If I make bogey...
Gates, crazy.
Nothing. Yeah. And then he's been hurt, but he never even gave me a thank you.
If a guy makes double on the last hole of Q School that ends up getting you their card, something needs to be done.
But that was
That's the one I thought you were going to tell. The Hadwin 59 is cool because, like, by the way, fewer people witnessed the 59.
Well, you ended up just fine on there. Little work to do, but nothing too bad.
But that's the one I thought would be like the most, because it turned into a happy ending at the end, right? It wasn't like, hey, let me tell the most devastating story of my life.
For sure, it was. And I'll never forget. We finished, signed the scorecards, everything was official. And I was really upset. But then, obviously, everything turned to great. Had a beer. Me and Shorty, my caddy at the time, drove straight to Vegas.
I'm surprised that Shorty didn't say something on 18. Like, you probably hit your driver straighter than any other club in the bag. So it's not like, hey, dude, it's not like
it was the club.
A wild driver being like, yeah, I'm gonna hit driver here. Like, whoa, dude, just hold on. But him saying like a little, if he did he know at the time that he knew bogey? I probably, as a cat, it's a sticky situation. You don't want to get too involved and get a guy off of what he's been doing the entire week. But I've been like, hey, dude, 5 gets it done here, or something like. If you knew on the team,
and that'll keep you at even par. Nice.
Well, it would have been
and you are even for the
tournament. Did you think it was par in your?
Okay, here we go.
Oh, so you were further out than
I wasn't even nervous on the tee. I just hit an absolute just shot out of nowhere.
Yeah, and the hole's not like super long or anything. It's literally you just have to find grass off the tee.
It's like 420
and
yards.
Over. It's not even over. It's a wedge. It's a nothing in.
All right, well, I'm glad we can bring that back up again.
My hands are
now
sweating.
I'm stressed out again.
My hands are sweating right now.
All right, good stuff. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Joshua Perry of the Action Network to discuss a little gambling here on Gravy in the Sleeves.
Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio.
Heading towards the beach here, not the good kind.
It's never too late for a fresh start. And this year, Sirius XM Doctor Radio's world-class doctors help you find exercise and eating plans that really work. Talk to real experts on everything from heart health to plastic surgery and mental health care for adults and children. It's all on Sirius XM 110. Or listen when you want, on demand, with the Sirius XM app, now included free for most subscribers. Just download it today and you're ready to start listening wherever you take your smartphone.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group.
You
10 years
will
ago,
stay at
I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation
on the last
industry.
one. Let's see what happens here.
Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-517-1717. 800-517-1717. 800-517-1717.
At Capital One, you can open a new savings account in about 5 minutes and earn 5 times the national average. Banking with Capital One means 5 times the savings to help pay for your perfect honeymoon. Or 5 times the savings toward your family's perfect vacation.
Heading towards the water.
It's time to help make your savings goals come true. This is Banking Reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Rate comparison based on FDIC national rate. Capital One NA member FDIC.
You're in charge of hiring. And Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we give you this magic music, which will inspire the perfect hire to begin clog dancing. Okay, there's no magic music, but skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Post your next job at Indeed.com/hire and try skills tests for free. Terms and conditions apply.
The Ryder Cup, President's Cup, the Players. We are your exclusive home for golf's biggest tournaments. Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio.
Play where the pros play and book your next golf vacation with the PGA Tour's TPC network. Take advantage of incredible fall vacation offers at some of our most iconic courses, including TPC Sawgrass, TPC Scottsdale, and our new international properties, TPC Dorado Beach in Puerto Rico and TPC Cartagena in Colombia. Stay and play vacation packages are available now. Visit tpc.com/XM to learn more. Welcome
Solid
to golf
swing.
at the highest level. Welcome to TPC.
Welcome back More Gravy in the Sleeves coming at you. I'm Drew Stoltz, joined with my guy Colt Nost. We now welcome on our next guest. He is the all-knowing golf gambling guru from the Action Network. So if you want to make a little chicken this week betting on the American Express, this is your guy you're going to want to listen to. Josh Perry, welcome to the program.
Hey, so he's glad to be on.
Glad to have you, my man. We're doing a little segment each week where we get into some golf gambling, a little fantasy, a little this or that, just for people that want it. And you are the man to talk to. So first things first, how'd your bets end up last week? You have any big winners? I know you were on Ryan. I know you're rooting hard for Ryan Palmer at the end.
Yeah, Palmer and Tiz. They're both hanging around. We had a chance on 18, but scoreboard got in the way. That's what you can do.
Yeah, damn score. They got to move those scoreboards.
First off, that scoreboard
away.
is not in the way. I was there. It's not in the way, but that was a terrible break. I agree with you on that.
So as we dig into this Amex this week, what kind of player, when you're looking at your bets and what you're going to make, what kind of players stand out to you? Are we looking at, hey, this setup suits bombers, putters, wedge players? What do we got?
Sitting at honestly, 3 over for the round here, and 3 over for the tournament.
You go in between three
okay,
different
it's
courses.
Time to send this ball on its way.
They can throw some guys off their game. Honestly, I'm just looking for, like, birdie makers. You know you're going to have to get to 20 under par to even sniff winning this thing. So I want to find guys who can just make birdies in bunches. I don't really care how they do it. Like, you can bomb it and get wedges in. You can be a great putter. So we've seen, like, John Rahm win this thing. You've seen Brian Day win this thing. So, I mean, I don't think you can get two more opposite golfers than that. So it's pretty wide open other than, yeah, I'm just looking for a guy who I think could shoot, like, 25 under.
Yeah, you notice you say Brian Gay, which I'm a big backer of. He's played great golf the last couple of years. He struggled last week.
I don't know if this has enough.
I think a lot of people might come in and be like, "Oh, well, Brian Gay missed the cut last week, didn't putt that great." Those greens were so bad for him last week. They were so slow and bumpy because they had to keep them slow because of the wind. I would not be surprised to see Brian Gay have a huge week this week.
Yeah, I wrote him up as one of my bets this week on the Action Network at 160 to 1. I was really surprised he wasn't in that
2 over for the round, and 2 over for the tournament.
We see him on these shorter courses where he's had a lot of success.
Let's put this drive in the fairway.
Putting last week, and that happens once in a blue moon for him. He actually gained strokes off the tee, which is weird for him, just because of how short he is. Usually people can bomb it by him, and his irons were dialed in. It was just a thing with the greens. Like you're saying, it was tough for him to putt it. I don't expect that to carry over if he's still dialed in like he was and goes back to his normal putting. It's one of those things where he's a guy, yeah, you can get 5-6 birdies around out of him, and he can hang around for sure.
Yeah, I was just going down and looking at some of the odds to win, which I'm typically not a big odds to win guy, but one really stood out to me, and that was Brendan Todd going at 50 to 1. I mean, this guy's already won twice this year. He won Bermuda, won Mayakoba. He's arguably as hot as, anyone this year. Is 50 to 1, does that seem weird to you for a guy like Brendan Todd in a field that's not the best field in the world?
I feel like they've just decided that Brendan Todd's 50 to 1 every single week. That's what he was last week at the Sony, and that's what he was when he won the, I think it was the OHL. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where they're just penciling him in, and if people want to fire at it. Again, it's another one of those things where he's probably better on the shorter courses when it's not 7,500 yards, and get him on these. I think the Bermuda greens are usually pretty good for him, being from Georgia and all, so he tends to like that stuff. He's also, another guy with that putter. Again, that's kind of going to be a big thing this week. If you're not riding a hot putter, it's pretty tough to get 22, 23 under par. But I'm looking kind of also at another Brendan there, going back to Brendan Steele. We saw what he did last week. His irons were dialed in. His putter was on fire. One bad shot on 18,
you're in the rough, but you're sitting up on top pretty good here. Might be able to get a good snap onto it.
He's usually pretty comfortable. He's won that Safeway twice. The second year, a few years back. So he was actually 90 to 1. You probably still find him 75, 80 to 1. I like him as well.
And we're talking with Josh Perry from the Action Network here on Gravy and the Sleeves. It's interesting you bring that up about Brendan Steele, because I'm kind of guy as a player, former player. I mean, he basically gave that golf tournament away last week. He 3-putted 13 coming in.
Doesn't look like it's on the fairway, but it's all right.
Kind of a bad par on 18. Missed a short putt on 17. Are you not worried at all about having a little bit of a down week just because he's going to be a little? I don't think he slept very well Sunday night, by the way. Or do you think he just lets it roll off his back?
It's tough because you don't know unless you actually know the person. Like, that's kind of where we're from the outside looking in. All we can go off of is kind of what we saw and what he's done in the past. And what I know is when he gets in California, that's usually where he has the best results of his season. And it wasn't really like a fluky week for him necessarily. When his irons are on.
Well, we're in the rough, but we're close to the green, so we'll be putting pretty soon, I think.
Like here at the Amex there, where he's played well on all of them. He's had good results. It's one of those things where he kind of had a rough year last year, and maybe this is like the wake up, or he got to work it out over the winter, comes out second place, and he's like, all right, everything I did was clicking, and now he's ready to go.
Yeah, I want to talk about the host of this event, Phil Mickelson. So last year he narrowly missed out on winning this event, but he's also a guy that, like, he can pop up just like he did last year and win a golf
tournament. Looking at a 19-foot putt from here.
Clicking, but he also has weeks where he goes completely off the map. Is he a hard guy to handicap, and what are your kind of expectations for Phil this week?
Yeah, I think Phil will be fine. This tends to be a tournament he usually plays well. I usually don't bet him just because he's kind of like in that spot where Tiger is, where everyone who doesn't really follow golf, if they're just going to bet one guy that week, it'll probably be Phil. So the odds are usually a little bit worse than they probably should be. So it's tough to bet him. But, I mean, 40, 50 to 1 is something like this where there's not really a whole host of the superstar players. I mean, it's a course where he's played well. Yeah, he's fine. I mean, it just comes down to whether he's all dialed in and he can keep those bogeys down, because we know he can make the birdies and bunches that you're looking for here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Josh, I mean, you're obviously big into gambling on
golf. 4 over
I mean, golf's not
for the
probably
round.
The most popular.
And 4 over for the tournament.
What made you get into golf? Or is golf
7th
kind
hole
of a side
coming
hobby?
up?
You actually bet on everything, or is golf your main focus?
No, golf's pretty much what I like to do. It's just one of those things where when you're in college, you don't have a lot to bet. It's one of those things you can bet $10 here and try to win $1,000 on some guy. So yeah, it's just one of those spots where you just bet a little to win a lot. So that's kind of what drew me in initially, and then it's just fun on that. Like, I mean, yeah, with those long shots, it's tough to find anyone 40, 50 to 1. Any sort of bet like that if you're going NFL or NBA or NHL or anything like that, it just doesn't really exist. Whereas you can hit 2, 3, 4 of those a
Great
year
contact, nice swing.
Breaking too much of the sweat, just because there's so many good guys and the fields are so deep that you can always find talent and guys who are mispriced a little bit further down the board.
So when you're gambling, when you're betting each week, are you betting
looking at around 155 yards out from here
with good odds to win the golf tournament? Or are you betting head-to-head matchups and playing fantasy and that stuff as well?
I'll play probably like 4 or 5 guys before the tournament. Try to like sprinkle in a top 5 on them too, just because I think they can play well. But just winning, as you guys know, it's just sometimes there's a little bit element to luck to it. You can play as well as you can, but one break here, one break there, like we saw with Ryan Palmer on 18, and the tournament goes away, but you're still able to get in that T4 position, so you get a little bit of your pass there. But yeah, it's mostly those guys. Now I look for a matchup here, a matchup there. We had Kisner over Abraham Answer last week, just kind of playing that Tournament of Champions narrative there, where he had come in and where Answer hadn't played since the President's Cup, so there was a little bit of a layoff for him.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll try to sprinkle.
Looking at a 19-foot putt from here.
Long shots, because you know it's tough to win a tournament if you're 200 to 1, but you can have a good week. Go out there, take 13th if the course fits you. So. Yeah, I'll dabble in all of it a little bit here or there.
All right. I like that. And being that we'll let you get out of here on this. Masters is right around the corner. We only got a few months away. Will Tiger Woods be the favorite to win that event? Or what do you expect? And what do you expect his odds to be?
It's him or Rory. Like I would be surprised if it's not one of those two. By the time the Masters rolls around, they'll both probably be like 8, 9 to 1. I would say. There's just too much talent for him to get too far or too deeper than that.
Nicely done with the long putt.
It's going to be pretty tight up
3 over for the round, and 3 over for the tournament.
He was second last year, and DJ might wake up.
All right, let's let her rip.
It's tough to say anybody's going to be 4 to 1 or 5 to 1 going into the Masters. But yeah, I think it's between him and Rory, and it just kind of comes down to who has the hotter run over the next couple months.
Is that even worth betting if you're an average golf fan, like a guy at 4 to 5 to 1 to win the golf tournament? Like, that just seems crazy to me. Like, that's not enough. I need more juice on that or I need some more value on that to really think I'm going to get 4x my money. A guy has to win the golf tournament outright.
Yeah, and the PGA, I would probably never, ever do it. There's some other stuff worldwide where you can get, like Henrik Stenson's like 8 or 9 to 1 in Singapore this week. That's something I looked at. But, yeah, when you get those random Euro guys over playing in Asia where there's like 4 or 5 like legitimate
now that was a
players,
swing.
it might be worth it, but anytime in the States, I would never, ever do it.
Yep. All right, last question. Who wins this week? Forget the odds. If you had to pick a winner, gun to your head.
I'd pick one guy. I would go with
Okay, you're in the rough, but at least you aren't in the real deep stuff.
He makes a lot of birdies. He plays every week. He's in form. I mean, at the top of the board. I didn't bet him, so that means he's probably more likely to win since my bets aren't always cashing up there. But, yeah, some guy just seems like he's due. There's not a lot of big names for him to run past. Most of those guys are overseas right now. So, yeah, I feel like this is one of those ones where he might be
Looks like you're going to hit some sand here.
The good thing about Sungjae Im, he's never rusty.
No.
Never will you get him on a rusty week because he plays 364 days a year. Joshua Perry from the Action Network, thank you for your expertise, my man. We appreciate it, and best of luck with your bets this week.
No problem. Good luck, guys.
All right, take care. That was Joshua Perry from the Action Network doing a little golf gambling tidbit here. I like it. I love the golf game. I like to get a little inside scoop from the guys that know what's going on. So I wrote all that down, and I will be firing. And if they all don't hit, Josh, you're going to get some tweets.
Yep.
That's
not on gravy in the sleeves anymore if you fail this week.
Right, correct.
All right, Sleazy, we still got quite a bit of time left. I'd love to get into, I know we've talked about it a lot.
Okay, so that'll keep you at
PGA
3 over for the round.
Coming out.
And 3 over for the tournament.
Time. Bryson DeChambeau had some interesting
Coming
comments.
off a par on the last one. Let's see what happens here.
Okay. They ask him, he's over in Abu Dhabi. They ask him about what he thinks about it. And he goes, honestly, I welcome the policy. Okay. He goes, I thought he thinks it was very unfair how he was treated last year, and he claims that he was playing within the rules. Okay, first off, no, he wasn't.
Right. It's hard to argue that when there's video evidence of you not, so I don't see how you can say that. But
it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that these guys, they think the only time you have to play within 45 seconds is when you're on the clock.
Right. Otherwise, you can just do whatever you want. Yeah. I don't have to speed up until there's a penalty.
The rule doesn't say you have to play your shot within 45 seconds when you're being timed. It's always.
Right.
And he claims that he's playing within
the
rules.
Solid swing.
And once again, he says this new length that he has, he's bulked up and he's hitting at 340, is going to help out his pace of play. But yet, last year, I had this specific conversation with him.
Now, we are looking at around 185 yards to the pin.
He goes, well, I hit it further than most guys in my group, so I'm last to hit.
Right.
And so I'm always waiting on them. Well, now you're hitting it even further than everybody. Yeah. And you're still not going to be ready.
How is that argument logical? Like, now that I'm super duper long and I'm all yoked up from being in the gym, now that'll help me play faster. It's still the same amount of time to get to your ball and hit the shot. Just because your ball's further down the fairway doesn't speed up your routine. I don't understand the logic behind that really
at all. And I want to get some people's thoughts about this. The phone number is 866-469-0026. Give us a call and let you know what you think about Bryson's comments. But I'm going to give you something else, Sleaze. I talked to Ken Tackett, who's a rules official on the PGA Tour this morning.
Yes.
And I basically asked him,
You're on.
as I said in the show earlier in the week, what's the goal of this policy? Is it to make rounds shorter? What is it? And this is what he said, quote, actually, it's to change the habits of the slowest players and mindset of pace. Trying to eliminate the egregious disregard for fellow players. Really targets the slowest of the slow first off. And which I like. Yeah. I mean, they're coming after the guys. The only thing I do wish is that they would make it public who these players are.
That would be fun for the public to see it. I think that the heckling on the golf course when they get out there, if they released it every week and someone starts to take a little time on a shot, could get out of hand.
Yeah.
Hey, hurry up, all that type of stuff. But I would enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And then he continued. He said, quote, really hoping to change the mindset of the slow golfers. Can't take a minute 30 for a shot on every hole while the other players are playing at a reasonable pace. He goes, we all know there are shots
and after 9, you're not doing too bad.
Those should be the exception.
I think you could still maybe take it up a notch to the back.
That's kind of what we were talking about.
2 over for the tournament.
I like the rule in this regard. It's targeting individuals. Mm-hmm. In the past, like I said, the guys that are taking a minute and a half to hit every shot, when they do that over 8 holes and now you're a hole and a half behind and you get on the clock, now Colt, you suffer because of that. Because now hey, I don't have the ability to take a minute 20 on this shot where the wind's changed or whatever because I know I'm on the clock. Whereas if the boy that was playing slow the whole time would have just kept up, you would have that ability because you wouldn't be a hole and a half behind. So it's going after individuals now as opposed to like groups, which I think is good.
Totally agree. And I mean, I love what he's saying, how they're trying to, have these guys show some respect for the people they're playing with, the people behind them, because we're all out there trying to do the same thing. First off, we all want to play at a good pace. But like you said, just because some guy's really slow and gets me put on the clock, if I get jammed up.
Yeah, if you got a 50-footer
and
that breaks
you
three
have
ways and
about
you
180 yards or somewhere thereabouts.
You don't have the ability to do that because you're going to get dinged because your boy over here has been playing slow for the last 12 holes.
Totally
that
agree.
Stinks.
So let us know what you think. I want to open up the phone lines, and we'll take some calls after this break. 866-469-0026. Give us a call on Gravy and the Sleaze.
Player B. Langmuir have dialed in on Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90, and you're listening to Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio, Sirius 208 XM 92.
Somebody say yeah for the Rock and Roll Hall
Solid swing.
Hear music and insight from the new class of 2020 inductees on a Sirius XM channel dedicated to iconic artists, recognized for their profound impact on music.
For Birdie.
A big deal, and it feels like it.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Radio, available anytime on the Sirius XM app. And hear a special preview weekend, Saturday, 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, on Deep Tracks, Channel 27.
Hi, this is professional golfer Mark O'Mara. When it came to building my personal putting green, I called Celebrity Greens, the leader in customized synthetic golf greens. Celebrity Greens designed an amazing backyard green for me and a synthetic lawn area for my dogs that looks and acts just like natural grass. You can't beat Celebrity Greens' attention to detail and exceptional customer service. Learn how to create a championship putting green in your own backyard. Call the pros at Celebrity Greens, 1-888-507-7960, or visit them online at celebritygreens.com.
Life insurance. For most of us, it's not something we prioritize. Maybe because we don't want to think about a world without, well, us. About how our loved ones would fare should we no longer be around to take care of things like the
and that'll keep you at 2 over for the round.
But unfortunately,
and 2 over for the
without
tournament.
securing the financial future of
All right.
our families, which is
Put this
why
in the
there's
fairway.
Ethos. Ethos is a new kind of life insurance company. It believes life insurance should be affordable and accessible for everyone. Ethos was founded by 2 college roommates who wanted to bring to life insurance the same technological efficiencies that have revolutionized so many other industries. Ethos can quickly provide the best policy for you and your family without doctor visits, long applications, and fine print. It can do in minutes what used to take weeks. So no more excuses. Ethos will bring you peace of mind by securing your family's future today.
Go to ethoslife.com now for your free estimate. That's ethoslife.com. Ethoslife.com.
It's looking good.
These days, your personal info doesn't stay on your devices because when you shop, bank, or browse online,
your personal info gets around, leaving you vulnerable to cyber criminals.
And this looks like around
that's why Norton 360 with
235
LifeLock gives you all-in-one protection for your devices, identity, and online privacy. No one can prevent all cybercrime or identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock is your ally in today's connected world. Save 25% or more off your first year. Go to norton.com/Sirius.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM.
All this week on MLB Network Radio, the players take over the microphones for Players Week. All-stars Liam Hendricks, Jake Odorizzi, and more bring their personalities to the airwaves on Sirius 209 XM 89. For a full schedule of air times, visit twitter.com/MLB Network Radio.
Major champions Fred Couples
Heading
Hale
towards
Irwin,
the beach
Ben
here,
Crenshaw
not the
can
good
be heard
kind.
right here, exclusively on Sirius XM.
Well, you're in the
PGA
sand,
Tour
so let's just get out of there and move on with our lives.
Welcome back to Gravy and the Sleaze. Fantastic read there, by the way, Sleaze, with
Thank
that
you.
Odorizzi.
Odorizzi, that's not an easy one, guys.
Fantastic.
Easy to step all over.
All
that.
right, we got the phone lines opened up. 866-469-0026. First, we got Dwight in Arizona. You're on Gravy and the Sleaze.
Hello, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, first I want to make a comment about your show. I am a 65-year-old retired white guy.
1 over for the round,
I
and you're
really
1 over
enjoy
for the tournament.
Your show. I listen to a lot of golf talk radio.
Okay, here we
I
go.
don't have the time to do it. But I really enjoy your young men's banter and your lingo that you use. I think it's fantastic. I love it. So,
Thank you, Dwight. Thank you very much, Dwight. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you got the best talk radio show on the air. Thank you.
Eat your heart out, Pat Perez.
Dwight. You're a weekly caller. We're going to work you into the show from now on.
Okay, with that said, what drives me crazy about the tour and the slow play, when those guys both drive the ball out there and they're almost the same distance, why can't these guys get their yardages all figured out while the first guy didn't? Why can't the second guy get his yardage all figured out and get ready to go, and then just hit? Or is that TV messing it up? And when they're on the green putting and they're coming from different directions, why can't they do all their book reading and get all their homework done while the other guy's putting?
Dwight, you couldn't be more spot on. It's unbelievable. We actually had this talk last week at the Sony Open in Hawaii with Ken Tackett, who shared some stuff with us earlier. And I say the same things. I'm like, look, I'm one of the shortest guys on tour, so I'm always first to hit. These other guys, unless they're
so that'll
in my
keep
way,
you
they
at
should have
one
their
over
yardage
for the
right.
round.
They should have their
one
yardage,
over for
what's their win, and it should damn sure be narrowed down to 2 clubs.
Okay, let's plunk her in the fairway.
Yards, you probably know it's going to be an 8 or a 9 iron for these guys. It shouldn't be that hard. And the same thing with putting. I start reading my putts as long as I'm not in anyone's way when the other people are putting, and I pretty much have it done. And that's why, I mean, if you look at pace of play reports, if they made them public, I'm one of the top 15 fastest guys on tour, and I don't walk fast. Bryson always claims this walking fast thing, and it has nothing to do with it. It's about being ready. Like, the fact that guys don't even start doing their yardage or put their glove on until it's their turn is absurd. But Dwight, you're spot on, and thank you so much for the compliments. That was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, Dwight. Dwight gets it. Put Dwight in charge of fast play on the PGA Tour because it ain't that hard. There's so much made out of it. It just comes down to be ready to hit, dude. Do your stuff.
And Carlos, if Dwight ever calls again, you make sure you put him right through.
Right at the top of the list, Carlos.
Love those.
Remember
nice
that name.
But he's right, and I feel like
I guess you can't hit all the fairways.
Be like kindergartners and do a class on this.
Yeah, it's like we beat. This topic is like beating a dead horse. It's the same thing. What do we do?
Okay,
about
so you're in the rough here.
What do we do about slow play? And it's all these people get in rooms and they put these policies together. It's like, dude, just be ready to hit. It ain't hard, but no, that's obviously not registering. So now, hopefully, the individuals.
I ask you, okay, me and you are walking down. We hit our tee shots. We're walking down the fairway. We're talking. We're talkers.
Right.
I talk to whoever I'm walking to. We get to my ball first. What do you do?
Keep walking. Go to my ball. Step up my yardage. And
because I still have to do my yardage.
Exactly. Get my pin sheet. All right, it's 7 off the front. Yeah. Guess what? Oh, front number, middle, front pin, back. Got it. Oh, Colt's hitting? All right, cool. Yeah, it's going to be an 8 iron.
Let me step out of the way.
And then your ball lands on the green. All right.
At least if you didn't get everything done, you're almost done.
You're just 90% of the way done. Like you said, it could be between 2 clubs or the wind comes up a little bit more. All right,
okay,
we gotta go
for
to
the birdie.
It's not going to take you more than 60 seconds once I hit.
Never. That's why, I mean, I've always been fat, maybe to the point where it's too fast, but it's like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't think taking long makes you play better either. I think it makes you play worse.
All right. John in Florida, welcome to Gravy in the Sleeves. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. How are you today? Good show. Hey, just wanted to, they were talking about slow play on one of the other shows earlier, but do you guys know whether this alignment line had to be put in by rule or anything, or did it just happen to us? Because, this slow play thing's been going on for years, and then all of a sudden we all started lining up our balls, and they do it 3 or 4 times. They remark it, walk away, and I said, no one ever did that playing golf.
Yeah, that happened. I mean, that was probably Tiger was one of the first guys that started using the Sharpie line. And I'm with you. I wish they would
11-footer here.
I think
this
it
is
does
definitely
take
makeable.
a lot more time.
Yeah, did the governing bodies, though, have to approve that, or did that just show up on tour and in tournaments and everything else now without – I mean, I always wondered how the tour complained about slow play 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and all of a sudden now we have alignment lines on the ball.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, it was never approved, but guys mark their ball with the Sharpie, so you can't really tell a guy, hey, you can't draw
this
on your
golf ball. It's an identifying mark on the ball.
Yeah, and so before – I know with Titleist and stuff, it said what kind of ball it was.
Sitting at 2 over for the round.
The arrows like that.
2 over for the
So
tournament.
they actually came to us probably 10 years ago, I would say.
Okay, it's time to send this ball on its
asked
way.
all the players, would you use this if we put it on the golf ball? And guys that use a line are like, well, of course we would. It helps. We can just draw the Sharpie right through that line, and then we know we have it safe. But, I mean, if you say you can't draw a line on your golf ball, then some people are like, well, I use this circle to line up where I'm going.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just an identifying mark. But
I'm with you. They should take it away.
He makes a good point, too, because, like, have you seen – it used to just be the one line, right? That's what Tiger started with. It's a little line. Now there's damn near, like, diagrams on some of these things that are crazy. And he's right. A guy misses an 8-footer, rolls it 3 feet by. It's like, all right, go get behind it, line it back up, get over it. Oh, it's a little bit to the right.
That was rather
impressive. Go back down, tweak it again, and it takes an extra minute or two to clean up a 3-footer.
So last week I played with Alex Noren, who is not slow by any means. Like, he moves. Me, him, and Matt Every, we flew around the golf course. But he uses a line. And every time he does the Jim Furyk where he lines up the line with the mark behind the ball, gets over it, and then if he needs to move it, he does, and then he pulls the coin up. But granted, he gets right back in, no practice stroke, and goes. But I'm just like, God, what would these guys do without the line?
It's a centimeter. I've tried with the line before, and I get over it. I'd be like, nope, too far right. I'll just pull this a little bit, or I'll just aim it. I could never get the line right. It's like an art to getting that line right. It's such a disaster.
That's great. I love that. I love that call, though. Next, we got Jimbo from the great state of Louisiana. Jimbo, what's happening?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm a 18 handicap on my best days, and I have no problem playing fast. It's all about being ready. You got to realize, us 18 handicappers, we're hunting for balls in the woods, off the fairway, in the rough, and it's just about being ready golf. I mean, if you drop a guy off, I drop a guy off at the ball, I go to my ball. Or I'll drop him off at my ball, I got my rangefinder, I find it, go. I mean, it's how pros who keep it in the fairway can be slow play is unbeknownst to me.
You have it.
Just a matter of,
it should be way harder for you, Jimbo, to get around quickly than it should be for these tour pros that are hitting it 310 down the middle, hitting a wedge to 8 feet, and either making it or missing it. You got to go through a lot more stuff than they do. But yeah, it just comes down to common sense. Like, it can be done. And we brought this up before on the show. Cole, how many times have you been out on the golf course? You got an hour of daylight left, and you got 6 holes. What happens?
They
move. Dude.
Everyone does.
Move.
They don't want to come back the next morning.
Okay, let's get this ball onto the green so we can start with the putt.
And have to wake up at 5 a.m. to do it and then wait all the way around. So as soon as they know they got to go and it affects their day and it affects their time the next day, they move. So everyone out there is capable of doing it. Just until now, or hopefully until now, there's never been any really reason for them to want to do it because they're like, what's going to happen to me? Nothing. I'll get on the clock for 2 holes. I'll play a little bit faster, and then they'll go away.
I totally agree. It's like you play.
Okay, so that'll keep you at 2 over for the round,
championship,
and 2 over for the tournament.
You and 2 amateurs, which is very
coming
nice.
off a par on the last one. Let's see what happens here.
You're playing about 4 hours and 10 minutes in a pro-am with guys that aren't very good.
And that's a hard, big golf course.
Then you get out there Thursday, Friday with 2 of the other best players in the world. It takes you over 5 hours to play the game.
Yeah, dude.
And granted, you're putting everything out and all this, but I'm like, this is absurd. We're playing with guys that can't break 90, and we're playing in just over 4 hours. And then we added a whole hour.
Then we got the world's best, and we added an hour to it.
It's just brutal.
I know. Hopefully this new policy just identifies the problem guys, which is what your boy, who is the official, Ken Tackett, said. Like, this is set out to identify the target guys, the guys that are slow that we know, and we can keep an eye on those guys pretty much every week. So I don't think there's a way to hide now, essentially, if you are one of those slow guys.
By the way, if you ever get out there on tour,
which I might,
I can. So one rules official sets up 9 holes. One rules official sets up the other 9. I can tell you every time Ken Tackett sets up the golf course.
Why is that?
I call him Ridge Runner because if there's a tier in a green, his pin is 1 step
Looking
up.
Looking at a 19-foot putt from here.
Pins up. Yeah.
So
every time I just walk by and I'll be like,
"This is your 9."
This is you." And he just laughs. Like, me and him have a great relationship. I'll call him over just for no reason, just to talk to him. But he loves putting them right on the ridges.
That's great. I wonder who the first guy is going to be to get, like, somebody's going to have to get hit with this penalty at some point, right? Or, I mean, I don't see everyone just changing their entire pace of play right now off the bat before some penalties get dished out. Who do you got your money on for first guy to get? Bryson's he's the heavy favorite, I would say.
But I mean, the 2 heavy favorites are Bryson and JB.
JB goes through some weird, like, mental. You know who else used to be? Keegan. I don't know what
Keegan
he's looking like anymore. He's got that pump fake. I was like,
Kevin Na is known for being slow, but he's gotten so much better. He's really worked hard at it. I mean, you remember a few years ago at the Players when he had just back off.
That was like
and that'll keep you at 2 over for the round. And 2 over for the tournament.
I had those for about 6 months one time.
Really?
Oh.
Okay, let's put this drive in the fairway.
Couldn't pull it?
Couldn't pull it. I'd back off, and then I'd get over it, and then boom, it's gone.
Crazy.
But, like, it would take
You know who else had that, and he hasn't been out on tour now for a while? He's playing off past champion, like, every now and then. Charlie Belgian. Do you ever play with him?
Oh,
when
yeah,
he had the Sergio Waggles times 10. And he knew it, too. He would literally, like, be like, guys, I know. I'm sorry. I can't take the club back.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, that year at the Players, was in the lead.
Yeah.
With these backoffs, and he was yelling at himself. He's like, come on, Kevin, pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I forgot about that.
First off, at a very stressful golf course, I can't imagine having to deal with that as well.
Just banging his head. Quiet down.
All right, well, let's make a little friendly wager. Who do you want? I'll give you first pick.
Oh,
who do you want?
Is Ben Crane still
He doesn't play him.
banging it around out there? He would
First
be
guy
high
to
on
get
the
fined.
list.
The
Here's
question
my
is,
deal.
will they say who gets
Great
fined? I know they're not
contact.
saying the-
Nice swing.
Yeah, I think they have to announce if a guy gets a penalty, or it'll get leaked in one way or
I'm
another.
asking Ken. Ken's going to tell me. He has to.
Yeah, I think it'll get leaked. I think they kind of want it to get leaked for the accountability factor. My prediction is the first guy that gets
you're in the
dinged
rough with
is
the
not
lies.
a big name guy.
Sitting
It
up
won't be
pretty
Bryson.
good here.
It won't be one of the big name guys. I think they give them a little more. If it's even a gray area whatsoever, they'll give them some leniency. Just like the Masters. Remember, I think it was like the last slow play thing. They give it to the 14-year-old amateur. I was like, really? That's the guy you're gonna ding.
That wasn't the last one. They actually gave it to a team event. It was like Brian Campbell and
at the
Zurich.
Was it or Chad Campbell?
No. His name was. I thought
it was Chad
Brian
Campbell.
And I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah, they got it in a team
Carvalho
event
or something. They got a team event. But
yeah,
I'm going to go against you. I think they're going to make it a big name, and they're going to make an example out of it.
Interesting. Well, that would create the most impact if they're looking to be like, look, we ain't playing around. We just ding whoever, this big name guy. It can happen to any of y'all.
If they're going to make when you fail a drug test for recreational drugs public,
exactly.
I think we got to make this public
on the green
exactly.
with
I think
some
it will
work
be
to do
public.
for the
whether
birdie
they want
here.
it to be public or not.
All right, I'm going
out.
to Shambo. You got to make a pick. Give me a name.
All right. God.
Type in your computer over there.
Who's the slowest player?
Can
in
you
the
Google
world?
slowest ship players?
Definitely not Rory Sabatini. I feel like he keeps it moving.
No, he's fast.
He's a very quick player.
By the way, he's a guy that's been playing great golf. I hate to admit it, but he's been playing great golf.
Well, I'll take the other betting favorite then. I'll take
You
JB
take
Holmes.
JB?
Yeah. He just because like Bryson, I think could speed up if he was just aware. He could speed up his routine, get his numbers quicker, do that. Once he's over the shot, he's fine. JB freezes when he gets over the ball. Yeah. Or walking into the shot, just like Keegan Bradley. This wasn't like, hey, I take forever to get my numbers and pull my club. There's like, I got my number, I got my club. My brain is just doing some weird stuff up top.
Okay, so that'll keep you at 2 over
That's
the round and 2 over for the tournament.
Oh, okay. Brian
All
Campbell.
right,
Once again,
let's let her rip.
Chad Campbell. I say a lot of things that aren't true on here.
And by the way, I don't think Bryson can speed up. Just one last thought before the break. He can't. He has to do all those numbers. And as he said in many press conferences, guys don't play golf the way I do out here.
Yeah, you're
they
right.
They don't do
That's
the things
true.
I
He's
do.
a bad example, but my argument was like guys that have super slow routines or don't start getting ready until it's their turn, they could fix that.
Yeah.
But you can't if your brain goes crazy.
All right, let's take a break. See if we have any more phone calls. 866-469-0026. We'll be right back to Gravy and the Sleeves.
Golf talk you can trust right here. Sirius 208 and XM 92.
Before and after every big fight, you need to be listening to Sirius XM Fight Nation. On Saturday, the notorious Conor McGregor returns to the UFC octagon.
Surprise, surprise, the king is back!
To take on the winningest fighter in UFC history, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, starting every day at 3 Eastern. Our experts, including former UFC champ Miesha Tate and current UFC fighter Anthony Smith, weigh in on the year's biggest fight, only on Sirius XM Fight Nation Channel 156.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now
Sitting
for your free
at
information
3 over.
800-517-1717.
And 3 over for the tournament.
800-517-1717.
Okay, here we go.
800-517-1717.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions. like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. Indeed will also give you the sticky frog, which will suddenly leap and stick to the face of the perfect hire. Okay, there's no sticky frog. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Post your next job at Indeed.com/hire and try skills tests for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Escape the cold and gray to a golf utopia that's just a click away at PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com.
Quite the smash there.
At PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, you can plan your spring getaway today and choose from more than 80 award-winning courses, dozens of lodging partners, and non-stop flight options from cities nationwide. Experience the golf capital of the world at its very best. Find out more at PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com.
There's 156 guys playing every week and only 25 get to move on.
You finish tied for 17th. It's tough luck. Come back next year.
The goal is to get to the tour, to win on tour, and be as good as you can be.
That's what's exciting. Guys have putts that change their lives.
The Corn Ferry Tour, only on golf. For more information, head to PGAtour.com.
I think we're getting wet here.
Welcome back to Gravy in the Sleeves. Just got a short period of time, but we got a very special caller once again. Dwight in Arizona, you got some more to say? What's happening?
Thank you, guys. I got one more comment. I know you're short on time, but...
Okay, the ball is above your feet. You might want to compensate by aiming a little more to the right than you normally would.
Those hockey players, they don't know how to filter
We've
it.
had 2 hockey players on, and they lead the show in F-bombs per minute, without question. It's hard to rein those guys in.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dwight.
Thanks,
buddy.
Thanks again, Dwight.
We'll be back.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back next Monday. You can listen some more. Thanks so much. All right. Sleaze.
Yes.
Looks like this may be in the deep stuff.
Very quick time left.
Yes.
UFC 246 this weekend. Conor McGregor,
Well,
Cowboy
you could
Cerrone.
have worse
Believe it or not,
lies.
I'm
There
a huge
are
UFC guy.
worse
I'm the
lies
most
on the course
non-fighter,
than this.
non-confidential.
Right. You're a lover, dude.
Yeah.
You're a lover.
All right, but I love watching this stuff.
Right.
Huge. All right, who you got? Cowboy, Conor. Conor's big favorite.
I'm going to go with McGregor. I want to say Cerrone because he's from Colorado, like the Sleaze, but I think McGregor, he hadn't been talking as much smack leading up to this fight, lead me to believe he's taking it a little more seriously.
Hasn't won an octagon in 3 years.
I know.
First fight in over a year. Cerrone's fought 3 times the last 6 months.
He fights every week.
It's
I feel like it's
unbelievable.
always featuring Cowboy Cerrone.
That's if you watch this special, anytime, any place he says he'll fight.
I love that. It's Colorado guy, dude.
Hard for me to bet against
We're
Conor.
fighters.
Very excited to watch this fight. Hoping Conor wins. Then the rematch with Habib will be.
That's the one you
huge.
want. Did you see Conor say, "Oh, by the way, I want a rematch with Mayweather"? I was like, "Yeah, of course you do."
Yeah, because you want another $100 million.
Enough $100 million to not really take half the shots that you take in a UFC
All right, 12-footer
fight.
here.
I'll fight Mayweather for $200 million.
All right, great show. Big thanks to our man Carlos Rojas. We will see y'all next week on Gravy and the Sleaze.
Mad Dog Sports Radio is your home for the best all sports talk. Start your day with the Morning Men, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern, followed by Shine On Sports with Adam Shine.
I am stunned by that take. Seriously.
At 1 p.m., it's Dog Day Sports with Steve Torrey. Then at 3 p.m., it's Mad Dog Unleashed with Christopher Mad Dog Russo.
Stop. What's that got to do with anything?
Plus, listen to the best sports talk all night and all weekend
And
long.
6
It's
over
Mad
par
Dog
being
Sports
around.
Radio, Sirius XM
All right, thanks for
82,
playing.